Hello learners, I am Maria Gia C. Muhammad, your teacher in oral communication. Welcome to lesson 3.1. This lesson is a continuation of the previous lesson, communication breakdown. And for today, we'll be having various strategies to avoid communication breakdown. Our objectives are the same with the previous lesson, only that we will only have objectives 3 and 4, which are explain the causes of communication breakdown and use appropriate strategies to avoid communication breakdown and achieve the goals of relationship and community building. The process of communication does not mention and explain about the barriers or problems that may be encountered in a communication transaction. In the previous lesson, we discussed 4 barriers, which are physical, psychological, linguistic, and cultural. We should be aware of this to help us avoid or solve the communication problem. Failure in communication may be avoided through certain strategies that we could adapt, because the goal of communication is always to achieve a clear and effective understanding, resulting to a good relationships in the community. Here are some ways to avoid communication breakdown. First, keep focused. As speakers or receivers, we should always put in mind the purpose of communication. Our purpose may be expressed through verbal, non-verbal, or even verbal and non-verbal cues together. Second, speak intelligibly. Because we aim to be understood, we should be speaking intelligibly or clearly. This can be done by using the proper volume, pitch rate, enunciation, stress, and even acceptable pronunciation. Third, listen with your ears. In communication, listening is not only using your ears. We could also listen through our eyes by looking at the person's non-verbal cues. Because effective communication depends on what people say and how they say it. Fourth, minimize distractions. Closed area, empty room, or quiet places can help us minimize distraction. Lessening the cause for confusion is the solution to being focused and concentrated. Fifth, be specific. Let's keep in mind to use simple and concise words. Let's always be direct to the point in delivering our messages. Sixth, and the last one, do not jump to conclusions. Don't give comment or judgment unless you are sure of what to say. Conclusions should always be drawn after a thorough analysis of a point given or information received. Communication becomes successful if and only if our communication goal is achieved. That is, an understanding is reached and a relationship built is maintained. To be able to have a smooth and successful communication, we may use some strategies. I have here some strategies by Broom, Gottlieb, and Center 2012 that you may use to communicate effectively. They are very easy to remember since they all start with letter C. That's why they are called the 7 C's of effective communication. Communication breakdown may be avoided by these C's. For every C, I would highlight the very important keyword or keywords that would help you remember them very well. Completeness. The speaker should convey all pertinent details so that the listener will be able to grasp the intended message. In completeness, pertinent details are the words highlighted. Pertinent is an adjective that refers to a clear, decisive relevance to the matter in hand. This will make the message understood. Conciseness. The message should be direct or straight to the point and should be expressed in the least possible number of words. Direct or straight to the point. Being direct and straight to the point will not only send your message at once, but will also not bore your audience. Consideration. The speaker should give high regard and courtesy to audience's background information such as his or her culture, education, religion, status, mood, feelings, and needs. High regard and courtesy are highlighted. Giving a high regard to the person's background information will make the communication successful because you may build rapport with them. Concreteness. Effective communication is backed up by facts, figures, and real-life examples or situations. Backed up. When you are backed up with information, the receiver will understand the message better because they are with examples. Courtesy. The speaker can show respect to his or her receivers through understanding their culture, values, and belief. Respect is highlighted. You may be wondering about the difference of courtesy from consideration. Courtesy is different from consideration in a way that courtesy focuses on respect, while consideration focuses on high regard and acknowledgement of the person, then respecting them. This implies a positive vibe between you two. Clearness. It implies the use of simple and specific words to express ideas. In clearness, simple and specific words are highlighted. Being simple and specific will not confuse the audience. Correctness. Avoiding mistakes in grammar helps to boost the credibility and effectiveness of the message, so you should always practice correct grammar. Also, credibility and effectiveness of the message are highlighted. The receiver will trust you because you are credible and it will eliminate negative impact. Communication is a transaction that we do by following the 7 C's of effective communication espoused by Broom, Cutlip, and Center 2012. We may achieve understanding and communicating with others and avoid confusion and misinterpretations. Here are some of the helpful expressions that you may use to avoid communication breakdown. Use helpful expressions to gain time to think. These are really, anyway, tell me more. However, let me remind you that using or aha or whenever you are doing an extempo or an impromptu speech, that is a no. You should speak very well whenever you are doing an extempo or an impromptu. They are called fillers whenever you use them in those kinds of speeches. Next, give positive remarks or comments like, sounds good. I see what you mean. That's great. To avoid communication breakdown, you may also ask for repetition. Use the words or phrases, can you please repeat what you said? What did you say again? What did you mean when you say that? Lastly, check for understanding. Words or phrases like, so are you saying that? Or, so what is your understanding of this? You are not limited to those expressions that I have shared to you. You may create your own. I know that you are using them whenever you engage in communication. You are just unaware that they are helpful expressions. I hope that this lesson helped you become an effective speaker by being aware of the barriers and strategizing to avoid them. I want to say thank you very much for watching my discussion, and I hope you learned something from it. And if it's not too much, I'm asking you to subscribe to my channel. See you on my next lesson.